So what is it about the
Yeah.
unhookable space that drives you to create that? Will you say that again?
Yeah, when I look at the game world of possibility management, I see in the thoughtware of people that are participating in it that being unhookable is missing. They're getting unhooked in their spaces. I hear it a lot in the Rage Club Space Holder group, for example. My client did this. What do I do? It's because they're missing this whole set of tools for unhookable, or just like this thoughtware about that becoming unhookable, this transformation really. And then also getting hooked by the game world itself, by trainers, by space holders in the game world. And I feel that there's something going on where like people do trainings because a trainer told them something and they got hooked by it. And so it's really affecting the whole game world. It's not only in a personal level as a space holder, or so just like to like almost it's a decontaminate that part or shift that part of us that is being hooked by these things. I think it can shift the game world. And it's not only unhookable, it's also this thing about being a conscious asshole that is gone from like nobody. There's two women that try to hold space for that, but nobody came to the program. So this part about being a conscious asshole that we're touching on too, and the good girl, like this whole like dispelling or badassing the good girl, nice boy thing is also part of being unhookable. It's also part of the training, and it's kind of a different take on it than what I see that is being held space for me. So it's yeah, it's like all these amazing tools and journeys. I know because I did already two of this unhookable training, and people really got a lot from that. So that's what I'm trying to bring to the game world.
Thank you.
What about you? What is it for you that you want to bring this work?
I mean, it lands in me what you say, that it's something about the whole game world and especially being hooked by possibility management. I have quite a few conversations with coaching clients that keep going into low drama about PM. So they're really hooked by possibility management, and it can be subtler. It can be this adaptation to possibility management, which is also a form of being hooked, trying to fit in. And my personal research these days is mainly in relating with a man to be not hooked by any sort of attack, to simply not get hooked. And that is my personal research, where I've learned a lot over the last, especially over the last 6 months, and where I see that, to get into the archetypal realms, this is essential. It's really essential to be not hooked and to keep creating, or to create intimacy. And I'm on that journey too. That's why, I'm willing to share my research and be on the research team. So it's really a non-hierarchical space of radical research with each other. And yes, I have done some of it, and I have been in training spaces as a trainer where I got hooked, or I notice how people get hooked and how that destroys the space. It's really a killer if you want to fly and then you have these hooks landing in you. It's simply not gets you out of the ordinary.
Yeah, thank you for sharing also about your personal research about that. I want to share about that too, that for me, when I get hooked, I get to try to get out of the hook with unconscious anger. So I'm trying to use, for example, my conscious anger, because that's what I learned in a rage club, to set up a boundary or to say what I want or to say no. But in the back of it, there is a whole charge of unconscious anger, and that is happening because I got hooked. I get this emotional hook in me as a reaction to someone doing something, and I'm trying to use all these tools of possibility management, but I can't because I'm still hooked. So That's my personal research about it, like how to really distinguish that low unconscious anger. What am I getting hooked about, really? And it can be from a whole culture. Like sometimes I'm getting hooked by this whole new age culture around me. So really going, like my research in this journey will be like, what is the mechanism that I get hooked by? Like, how is it happening in one moment? What are the words that hook me? Like all that.
Yeah. Yes, I relate to that. And what I've noticed is where I have been unskilled and I'm upskilling myself to shift identity. Like simple things, there's this healing processes that need to happen. Healing needs to happen. And initiation processes need to happen. And practice has to happen. Like practice is so necessary as well. So the team is really, for me, also like a real practice space, experimenting, practicing with techniques to unhook that are not our standard go-tos, to have a greater variety of tools available. So shifting identity, for example, is a huge one. It's like one little shift. And I mean, the whole being unhookable is an identity shift, and there's different tools. How to really step into that or out of the hook, not even let them land. And I'm also really curious to find out more about the difference between a hook, a button, a trigger, those different hooks.
Yeah.
And playful out. And I watched a movie the other night. I watched again Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. And have you seen it? The way he like his expression, and he's so unreasonably in this character. He's so unreasonable. It's really, for me, it's like, whoa. My box goes like, whoa, I could be this unreasonable with my gestures and with my face expression, and I could use that to unhook a situation where it gets like to just really shift the space by stepping into a radical identity like that. And so there's really this high level fun in playing also with the tools, maybe like having in between space where people get to watch a movie like that or a different movie and then we apply that and really radically experiment with that as a team and find the blockages so that these can be transformed.
Wow, sounds like a cool experiment to try together. You play role this character now. Go full out. Yeah, with all this role playing, it's so much fun. Like I watched a video that we recorded the space, and it's so much fun. Like you get to to try these things that you would never try in a space. Like really, like you're saying, going extreme with something. Like taking one aspect of your space holding and doing it in extreme, so you have the chance to role play with that. It's really high level fun, and it's funny also. And we try to hook you, so it's funny, like this process where we're throwing all these hooks at you and suddenly something catches you. Yeah, it reminds me of a story. Yeah, sorry, go.
No, you go.
It reminds me of a story when I first started to go into this unhookable training, where I realized it really needs to be a practice that I'm taking with me to my life. There was a guy just moving into an apartment that I rented in Portugal. It was the best apartment ever. Everything was perfect. And this guy comes in and all he's doing is trying to hook me all day. Unconsciously, it's like this guy that's really identified with his gremlin all day, like his hobby is getting me hooked, throwing all these comments. And I'm like, okay, the dojo is open. I'm in training. How to not get hooked. And many times I did get hooked, like, hey, I got hooked, but it was all day, like this training. Hooks, and I'm using all these tools. And I think I did a good job, because just a few days ago, this guy sent me a message and he wants to join the Rage Club. So I think something that he saw worked there.
So, I mean, the image that I get is once Neo with all the bullets coming, and I used that yesterday. I used a GIF for that. The other thing is a dojo is really an unhookable dojo. And that reminds me of, is it Neo also, or is it another movie? Is it Doctor Strange? I don't recall. Where I think it's Neo also, where he goes into this dojo space and he gets downloaded all these skills.
Yeah, it's that. It's
That's
Matrix.
that.
Yeah.
It's Matrix too. Huh? Yeah. So yeah, that space excites me to create like an unhookable dojo, which is still a team, and we're in a dojo space of really training hard out and going liquid with it and creating high level fun, bringing their own edge, their own research, and challenging each other there and really playing full out.
Yeah, it gets rough. It's not it's fun, but it's also like it's really challenging to do that. You get to be like I have also somewhere in the good Boyd box. It's like, what can I say? What can I even say to shift the space? Do I dare saying this right now? So it's like it's challenging also. It's hard.